Elon Musk managed to tee up just another absolute home run for this far-right, president-focused power dictatorial model the conservative justices seem to be going for these days. In the lawsuits that he has going, the Tesla one is pretty much just noise. My critique on that one is basically that the National Labor Relations Board should have just issued a standard cease and desist type letter instead of trying to tell him that he couldn't tweet something. That's a stupid move that opened up problems only. The SpaceX one is a much bigger problem. The Fifth Circuit ruled the way that the NLRB is structured is unconstitutional. And essentially what they're saying there is it's outside the scope of the president, even though historically speaking, Congress has intentionally structured these things to be independent of the president's power. It's a lot of what is under attack. And in the past, courts have held up that structure, but in this modern environment, it's been under attack by rulings. And a lot of what this case demonstrates is a ready-made playbook for how to attack agencies in courts, which puts at risk other similar structured agencies such as OSHA, the SEC, the FTC, and the Fed. Part of why Trump hates JPOW so much is because he can't control him. He's independent. That is what's at risk here. From other recent cases that we've seen, the likely step is to require presidential at-will removal of NLRB members. A probable outcome as well is to attack the ALJ direction and also to make them political appointees, and to limit agency adjudication and force jury trials on things, which requires more money from people who are contesting issues against regulators, amongst many other problems. And a long-term risk that I see is they're going to redefine independent commissions as an unconstitutional delegation. This would force Congress to either fold them into the executive branch entirely or drip them down to like advisory status only. The real stakes here for this specific case, realistically, are that labor law becomes like political football being tossed back and forth between presidential administrations, and regulatory capture is already a huge problem. And corporations are just going to continue to stall and forum shop into which courts they want to take their case that they know is going to be more favorable to them. And further, the New Deal system collapses entirely. The architecture that we had set up that was independent and expert-driven oversight is being dismantled incrementally. However, those increments are happening very fast. Since this is at the judicial branch level, there really isn't anything that any of us can do besides sit and watch and then encourage Congress to pass stronger protections for people when they gain rationality. However, with the attacks on democratic processes and elections, the chances of that happening fall slimmer and slimmer. The House is more than on fire. We need to put it out.